Hi, hello students. Now we are going to learn the poetical types. What are the poetical types? So I read the types of poetical type that are: number one, the lyric; number two, the ode; number three, the sonnet; number four, elegy; number five, idyll; number six, epic; number seven, ballad; and number eight, satire. These are the poetical types in English literature. So now one by one we learn the types of poetical. Number one is the lyric. This is the first form of the poetical types. The origin of these poetical types is the Greek song was divided into the two class: melic or lyric song, which was sung by a single voice to the accompanied by lyre, and choric song, which was intended for a collective singing to the accompaniment of instrumental music, supplemented probably by a dance. The first of this division is responsible for the lyric, as we know it is an English verse. So this is the form of the lyric, that the song which is sing in a single voice, and second is lyre, the song which is having a chorus. Music in the lyric, it's also important. Then the structure of the lyric, the subject of the lyric, and then the lyric sum up, how the lyric sum up. It is a short poem dealing with the single emotions. Lyric is a short poem dealing with a single emotion. Second, it is a musical poem, word music being an important element and its effect. It is a subjective poem, it is a well knit poem. This is the lyric sum up. So this is the features of the lyrics. Now we move on a second type of the form of the poetry, that is the ode. So what are the distinguished features of the ode? Please write down. Like its parent form, the lyric, the ode is a Greek origin. One of the first form of the literature poetry is a lyric. Second is the ode. It is serious and dignified composition, almost in rhyme and longer than the lyric proper. It is often in the form of an address and is sometimes used to commemorate an important public occasion. Listen carefully. Each of these characteristics may be analyzed separately as follows. That it is longer than the lyric proper, or is longer as compared to the lyric. For the emotion it embodies is of a kind that admits of development. It is exalted in a subject matter. It is exalted in a subject matter. Unlike other form of verse, it is often addressed directly to being or object. It treats the opening line sometimes contain an apostrophe of appealing. Then sometimes the ode has for its theme an important public event like a national jubilee, the death of distinguished personage. So these are the odes. Then Dorian Pendaric odes. In ode there are types of odes. Number one, that is the Dorian or Pendaric ode. So this is the Greek ode, had two forms. This is the Greek ode which has a two form. The Dorian ode, so called from the district and dialect in which it arose, and Lesbian ode, named after the island of Lesbos where it originally flourished. This is the features of the Dorian ode. Then The Dorian ode was choric and was sung to the accompaniment of a dance. This is the feature. Then the lesbian or Hortian ode. The lesbian and Hortian ode. The lesbian ode was simpler in form than the Pindaric and has therefore proved easier for poets to imitate and exemplify in English verse. The ode in English literature. In English literature, what is the features of the ode? Except for new attempts in the Pindaric or the Horatian form, the English ode was pursued a course of its own as regards subject matter and style treatment and outlook, not strictly bound by classical traditions. It is either regular, consisting of a series of exactly similar stanza, the odes of Shelley and Keats, or irregular when each stanza follow a different arrangement, as Wordsworth's Immortality ode, a several ode. These are the features of the ode. So now this is the second form of the poetry. Number one, we look that the lyric is the first form, and second, that is the ode, is the second form. Now we move on the third form of the poetry, that is the sonnet. What is the origin of the sonnet? The birthplace of the sonnet has not been definitely determined. Sincerely, the province have been suggested as a two possible source. It is, however, first met with an Italy in a later half of the 13th century. So, sonnet first found in a 13th century writing in Italy. It is a particularly associated with the name of the great Italian poet Petrarch. Petrarch, in poetry of the Petrarch, he used to write a sonnet. Before him, by no less than genius, the Dante also write this sonnet. It was originally a short poem recited to the accompany of the music, the word sonnet being a derivative of the Italian sonetto, meaning a little sound or string. Actually, this word is derived from the Italian language. The Italian sonnet, these are the part of the sonnet. Then English sonnet. In English sonnet, the sonnet was introduced into England in the first half of the 16th century by Sir Thomas Watt and Henry Howard, Earl of Surrey, two English politicians who, after their return from the diplomatic mission in the Italy, wrote verses in a form for a pleasure. In Italy, form its brilliant use by Petrarch. The Italian sonnet is often known as the Petrarch, but is sometimes called the classical sonnet as well. Then Spenserian variety. Then subject of the sonnet. The subject of the sonnet is, though there are no set range of subject for the sonnet, Shakespeare, following the earlier Elizabethan, had limited its theme to love. His sonnets, which are believed to be in connected chain or sequences through the order in a matter of controversy, celebrate his attachment to a young friend, Mr. W.H., to whom the dedicated for his love or mysterious dark lady. In Milton's hand, the scope of the sonnet was greatly widened, and in time it came to include almost everything within the range of human feeling and experience. So this is the sonnet. So we studied three forms: lyric, then ode, and the sonnet. These are the three forms we studied in this video. So we move in a fourth form, in poetic form, in a second video. Thank you.